patient. So if you have restricted records, that happens for employees who are also seen here. So it'll automatically restrict their records. Um, Veterans who've requested their records be restricted. So if you need to be in that chart, you'll click yes. If not, don't go into that chart. So you should never go into a chart unless you need to. So we'll click yes. And then category 1 flags. If they have a category 1 flag, there will be this big flashing yellow at the top. These are national flags indicating suicide attempts or assault. So the information is automatically going to display in the middle here for you to read. If they have category 2 flags, they're going to display right here. These are local flags. They can indicate things like chronic opioid therapy, falls, clinical trials, things like that. So you click on them and the information in the middle changes. You can read that here. And then if it has a note attached, you can click on that and that note will pop up right here. So once you've read through those, they can close it. And you'll land on the cover sheet. All right, so this is the cover sheet. You'll see that there's a bunch of boxes on the front. These are just quick little snippets of information that's contained in the chart. And then there's a ribbon at the top. The ribbon stays with you through the whole chart. So any tab that you go on, it's going to stay with you. So all this information here is easily accessible any tab you're on in the chart. This little blue guy in the top left, he's pretty important. He's a clinical link. So you want to see one little blue dude with this little paper clip. If you see multiple people with a broken paper clip, it looks like this. It means that all of the other programs that work with CPRS, like the mental health package, the surgery package, iMed consent, Vista imaging, they won't bring up the same patient. They may not come up at all. So the fix for that, if you have these three little guys, the fix for it is to rejoin the patient link and set new context. And it's going to refresh the patient chart and give you this little guy again. Then you'll have the patient demographics, which are just all your patient demographics. At the bottom is going to be their service connection and rated disabilities. So that's where people can find that information. The visit not selected box. So if they don't have a patient list set up on their patient selection screen, they can choose from appointments here. So if they're charting a day ahead, or if they need to make up their appointments if they haven't charted yet, they can choose from their clinic appointments, or they can create a new visit here if they need to. So I can create this. This is a non-count clinic. To create a historical visit, they just click this little tick box, and it's going to create that new appointment for me right here. This will be their primary care information. The PDMP query, that button does not work for us here in Nebraska. It will work for Iowa. Back in the chart, this alarm clock is so people can access clinical reminders. If there's a question mark, it means that they're not set up to use clinical reminders. CWAD postings, if you open that, it's going to give you all of their postings for allergies, crisis notes, clinical warnings, and advanced directives. So those will all be in there. On the cover sheet, you're going to have those clinical reminders and postings up here that we talked about. They're allergies and adverse reactions. So allergies and adverse reactions are where you can actually enter any allergies or remove them if they're not actually allergic to anything. Let me show you how to do that. So you're going to choose an allergy and right click on that and choose enter new allergy. It'll give you a text box. First, you'll make sure that it's not already in the list. Should have done that first. It won't let you enter a duplicate one. I'm gonna enter cumin because my daughter has a weird allergy, and you'll look for that and select the one you're looking for. And then it pops up like a text order box. So to give you observed and historical. So observed, you're not going to choose this unless you've actually seen the reaction that happened directly in front of you. Um, so you're going to choose historical unless you actually administered the allergen and watch the reaction happen. The reaction date and time is going to be when the patient said that it happened. The nature of the reaction is going to give you pharmacological or unknown, the severity. So all of these are required fields. So you can choose from the drop-down list which are most common, and you can choose multiple. You can type it in and any comments, and then okay. So then it's going to add there. Oh, I missed it, but you would click OK and it will add it to the top of your list. And then if the patient comes in and says, I'm not really allergic to latex gloves, you can right click and mark it as entered in error and then click OK. And it will remove it from that list. The active problem list that's going to be on here, and we'll talk more about that in the problems tab. Active medications. You can't do anything with the meds on the cover sheet. It just gives you a brief synopsis of that med, who ordered it. The recent lab results. So this is going to be the most recent labs that were ordered. It's going to give you 6 months in the past of data unless you change the default dates on your chart. So to do that, some people who do chart reviews and such, they need a larger time frame than 6 months. So when I worked in medical records, I needed a year. So to fix that, it's tools and then options and then date range defaults. So here, oh, I already have mine set for a year. So you would change it from 180 to 365. So you'll see this is 180. I can change it to 365. Okay, and okay, and it'll update the date. If I refresh the patient, it'll give me a full year. Women's health. Unfortunately, we don't have any female test patients, so I can't show you what that would look like, but if they've been seen in women's health, it'll give you that information here. Recent immunizations, that is not clickable. It just gives you a list of their immunizations. Vital signs. If you click on a vital sign, it's going to open this up in a new window. So it opens with that vital sign in a chart for the last 6 months, I think, that it was taken. And it displays those values for you. If you click on the dot, it gives you the data for all the vital signs taken that date and time. It also displays down here with them comparable. You'll see the red ones are out of range. I forgot to mention for the lab results that on the cover sheet is not the best place to look for lab results just because it's going to all look the same. So if anything is out of range, it's not going to bold it or put it in red or let you know that something is wrong. So you'll want to follow up on the labs tab just so you're not viewing it only on the cover sheet. Appointments, visits, and admissions. So this is where you're going to look to see if a note is attached to your clinic, their list of appointments, and to check to see if everything was done for that particular visit. What you want to see is your visit to say checked out. That means there's a note attached, you've completed your encounter, and everything is good. If it says action required, it means something still needs to be done for your visit. Either the note wasn't completed, an encounter wasn't completed, something's missing, and you still need to do that. If it says non-count, it just means that that clinic is non-count. So it was like a telephone call to remind them of an appointment, something like that. And then if it was an inpatient appointment, it will say inpatient appointment. Those appointments still need to have a note attached and an encounter completed, you just won't be able to see it from the cover sheet. They'll be able to see it in PCE to let you know whether it was everything was completed for that appointment. All right, that is the cover sheet.